Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Well, hello, folks. Welcome back to About the House. This is your audio university of everything of knowledge about your home, from construction to real estate, remodeling, investing. If it's about your home, we talk about it. And because we have a podcast system all set up, we have so much information, you're not going to get it all at one time. That is why I highly encourage you to check out the podcast, because every week we promote, as you folks know, we for a trade or a product or just information that's you need to know for your home. So just check out the podcast. Hey, this is Troy Galloway, your humble host, owner of Galloway Building Services. Just like this show, there isn't another company in the Midwest that perform the services that we do for help for folks throughout. We actually help people with construction consulting. So if you have an issue with the project and you want to make sure it's being done right or not, you give us a call. We also do new construction inspections, whether you're building a home or you're getting a remodel or a kitchen. You want to make sure it's being done right, making sure that, they promised what they're doing, what they promised, you give us a call. Of course, we also do commercial and real estate inspections. So if you're buying a building or buying a new home, and you want to make sure that you fully understand what it is that you're buying, you give us a call. We also do construction conflict resolution. And, heaven forbid, if you ever have that problem, or you got to get into litigation and you need a non-biased opinion, that's what we're for. We help folks all the time with this. We've been doing this for now over 42 years. So we're well versed, and we work with all kinds of other professionals that we also could bring to the table. Hey, our motto of our company is we're here to make sure you're getting what you paid for, that the job is being done right, and you're not getting ripped off. So give us a call. Galloway Building Services, 636-394-3112. Well, I want to give a shout-out to one of our premier sponsors here before we get started, and that's J&H Properties, real estate broker agents. And, I talk about them every week. They've been with the show since the beginning. They are just so fabulous. I love talking about them because you guys call me and touch base with me and say, wow, they're everything that you promised. They really are sensitive. They really are large enough to handle our needs. And yet, when I have a problem or question, I just call one of the folks there. They don't pass me off to another individual. They take care of us. And they just feel so much more comfortable through the buying process. So give them a call, J&H Properties, and that is 314-602-4835. That's 314-602-4835. Well, folks, this is one of the shows that I know everybody's been waiting for, and this is about solar energy, conservation, just some really, really awesome stuff. We're going to put to bed some bad myths about the solar industry, because we actually have one of the leaders of the United States. His company and them folks they're top notch. They are Energy Experts USA. And I got one of their top consultants right here, John Neff. John, thank you for showing up and helping us out here. Tell us a little bit how you got involved in this industry.
Well, I'll tell you, I actually got involved in the industry. It was my father who had the foresight for these kinds of things. He had a passion for it, and he introduced it to me 5 or 6 times, and I told him, no, it's not any good. And then he got me into it, and I said, oh my gosh. He opened my eyes, and I saw just how much good can be done with solar and with energy efficiency for every individual and our environment as well.
Yeah, that's cool. And folks, I also want you to go to Eco Power, because they work together. You guys don't do the installation. Is
Correct.
that right? You go through companies like Eco Power. Eco Power is also one. You'll get their podcast. Great company. I know you love. Everybody loved this show, so that's great. I like it because you guys are actually not doing it yourself. That makes it you're having licensed professional people putting this on, because it's important to make sure it's done right.
Right. So we're not doing it ourselves. We have a specific number of licensed professionals that do it. But I'm not just going to walk in and say, hey, buy this solar and walk away. You won't forget my face. I'll make sure that our licensed professionals are there doing things as promised throughout the entire project.
Well, that's really good to know, and we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff here. Probably, I'm going to hope we can squeeze it all in. If not, we're going to catch it. We're going to get John on another show here. But so, I know one of the questions get asked all the time: how many panels do I need to make? And talk about that, so they kind of about sizing.
Well, it can be relatively simple. If you live in a subdivision where it has to go on your roof, it really depends on how big your roof is. You can only put so many on, but what you want to do is try to get the right amount to where it covers most or all of your usage. You don't want to put too many, because you put too many, you're not going to get that return on your investment the way you should. But you want to cover most, and most homes are going to get about 18 to 20, 22 panels on their roof. They're going to be efficient, and they're going to start providing your home with solar power.
So, with that said, it's on the roof. Do you work with roofers too? Then, okay, because I know that this is one of the questions that people ask. How does an electrician know how to attach to my roof? Right.
Right. So we have crews that actually, with the roofing companies, they're going to make sure that all the racking actually goes down and is secured watertight, just like any other penetration through your roof. The roofers actually, with a new roof, there are over 3,000 different roof types that actually qualify as part of your solar if you put a new roof with solar as well. So, yes, we work with the roofers, electricians, and everyone.
That's great. Well, now, not everybody has a southern, I take it that's the direction that you'd like to see your solar panels in, but a solar facing. What can you do about that? Is there alternatives, or how's that work?
Well, so yes, ultimately the best is to be facing the equator, which is south. However, like I said, not everybody has that. With the sun going from southeast to southwest, we want south. We can go to west, but the efficiency of solar panels has improved so much that if we have to do an east-facing or another slope, we can do that. We might just have to add another panel to get the same output that you would get with south or west-facing.
So now another one of the questions that we get asked is that if I ever had a fire and the firemen, do they know how to handle the solar issues of the panels and the electrical concerns?
The electrical is going to have shutoffs just the same as the electricity in your home. So yes.
Oh, good. So because I know that people get worried about that, they want to make sure that it's safe. Yeah. Now, one of the questions get asked: do the solar panels ever get so hot that they could cause any trouble?
I mean, it's not really a concern in the fact that there is air movement below those panels. We're not. If the panels were directly touching something, you would be concerned that it may trap heat, but it's not going to do that. They're actually installed above the roof so that you get airflow and keep those things from occurring.
So the water can also just flow underneath the panels, and it's not so you're not making a dam up there. You're just the roof still drains just as it always does, right?
It does. The difference is though that roof is a little more protected because you have a covering on your roof.
Ah, well, what about hail? Does that? Are these like hail-proof?
These things are tested. I forget which level of tornado type wind and hail. They throw 2x4s of these things at 40, 50 miles an hour, trying to keep them from breaking or see if they can break them, and they don't. They used to. But we've made them much better. Well,
I know the solar energy has really come a long ways over the years, and I'm excited about it. Of course, I like my electricity from the power plant, but I also kind of like being energy independent, and you guys can provide that pretty much. Or, if the power goes out, will you still have power at the home? Do you depend on the power company at all?
Well, it depends. Yeah, there is still dependence on the power company. If you're a regular just solar panels on the house, it's tied to the grid, and it requires the grid to power the actual array. If there are chances you can actually become off the grid, where you do a battery system, and that battery system allows you to be truly off the grid, and then you would have your own power. But that is a much bigger animal than solar on our roof.
So then most people are not even doing that, I assume. I mean, in town.
No. And right now the cost of the batteries just is not. It doesn't make the economic sense that putting panels on your roof or in your yard does.
And I kind of thought that was the case, but wanted to hear it from the expert, not just for me. Anyway, folks, we are going to wrap this segment up. We got Energy Experts USA. We got one of their top consultants, John Neff, here with us. And this is Troy Galloway. I am your humble host. We will see you on the other side.
Sponsored by Troy Galloway and Galloway Building Services, your top choice for professional home inspections in the St. Louis area. Galloway Building Services.com. Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Welcome, folks, to About the House. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate this. Hey, this is Troy Galloway, your humble host. We are the only certified construction inspection company in the Midwest. Hey, we check out if you got a job going on, you want to make sure it's being done right, give us a call. Or if you're buying or selling your home, you want to make sure that you know what you're buying, give us a call for that. We'd love to help. Phone number is 636-394-3112. Hey, we got John Neff here of Energy Experts, and we're going to jump right back in this, John. So we kind of was talking a little bit about utilities and electric companies and such, but tell us, why do you need the utility bills? I mean, can we just walk away from the grid altogether? You kind of hit that just a little bit, and I wanted to finish up on that.
Well, ultimately, walking away from the grid altogether is very costly. The battery systems and things that it would require are they don't qualify. They don't give you the return on investment as, like I said, putting the solar panels on. But you also don't want to oversize the solar panels, thinking that you're gonna get a paycheck back from the utility or anything like that. And the reason that we look for the utility bills, the reason that I ask when I say I'd like to see 12 months utility bills, is because we want to see the usage through the different seasons, because the usage changes. That way that we can properly size a system so that you're working on solar energy. You're still going to get a utility bill no matter what, but it may only be a meter fee or something of that nature.
Now, meter fee, just to explain that to the folks, what that is that's the cost of the transmission line, so that's the hard cost of the electrical company. And I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to let the folks know what that means.
Of course, yeah. It's service and facility in a commercial industry, same in the residential. It's the basic cost to actually get the electricity to you. And
also the cost of what it takes to get it back to them.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I know a lot of people really enjoy, getting those bills offset and not having to pay that utility company.
Oh, of course. And you do with net metering, you do get a little money in your pocket through the summer months and that. But again, in the wintertime, you're not really producing much solar. You're relying on that energy company.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I know different parts of the country is different.
Yes.
And so information out there is not necessarily for the Midwest. It's, I was surprised that in Washington State, that they claimed that solar energy works best there than in one of the few places in the United States. They say that, and actually the solar industry is where I got this information from, and they claimed that it's better than even California, but because of the temperatures.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it goes back. If you talk to Eco Power at all with LED lighting, electricity is more efficient when it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So if you imagine Denver not only sits closer to the sun than almost any other city in the country, it's cooler. So they will get more. They will get more solar radiation, and get more power per kilowatt in Denver than we will ever get in St. Louis.
Well, with the new laws out there in Colorado, yeah, they're high, all right. So we don't want to go there. All right. Well, hey, let's not change the subject, but let's just move right on. Got me laughing now. Dadgummit. All right, so let's talk about the rebates a little bit, because I know that really, really helps, with the cost of this.
It does, and that's one of the reasons that we do like to help people with these, and we really don't encourage people to go out totally on their own and get these. I've seen there's a lot of things that are not qualifying for you where you live. And every industry, every utility is a little bit different in what they offer. But right now in certain areas in the Midwest, you can get as much as 25 cents a watt off of which is a cash check that is sent to you in a rebate. There's also tax incentives that are not cash checks that are sent to you, but you ultimately get that money back. I can go into that, how that works.
Well, on the rebates here, we're hearing rumors that they're coming to an end and they're changing. Tell us a little bit about that.
So rebates are actually, most rebates with, let's say, Ameren or KC Light and Power, some of the big public utilities, they're actually governed by the state government, how the rebates come out. There's a Senate bill that says the rebate has to be such and such during this year, and it does. It was 50 cents a watt last year. This year it's 25, and next year in 2020 there won't be a residential rebate. However, the state Senate will renew that. They do there's a cycle, and they will renew those.
So it's that this 25 cents is actually from the state. It's not federal. Is that right?
It's required by the state that the utilities pay this rebate. This utility rebate is through the utility, but it is state regulated.
Ah, okay. So that's good to know. Now, what if they get signed up in December and you don't get it installed till January?
If the contract is signed and we have started and we're on the roof, they're going to get the rebate.
Good deal. Now, also, I want to cover this a little bit too about the. I understand that you have to still – no, I'm asking the question because I'm getting conflicting information. I understand you're supposed to stay connected to the grid in order to get the discounts and rebate, but if you're 100% independent, that you don't get them. Is that right?
I've not had anyone tell me that they were denied the rebate, but honestly, that's a good question. I need to look into that.
Yeah, well, and that's how I'm conflicted. Oh, hey, folks, this is one that you write your pen and paper down so that you get a John and ask him. Susie's out of the show. You call him, talk to him about it, because this is a great – and I know you're going to have a ton more questions yourself. So because this rebate thing, that's a confusing thing. And, we need some guidance, and I know that's why we need to hire folks like yourself.
And I'll tell you the reason that I do need to look that answer up is because I would bet you it's only 1% of residential clients that go off grid. It just doesn't make financial sense right now. But if you want to and you can, I applaud you.
Yeah. Well, now how does that work? I'm kind of switching up here a little bit because I just love alternative energy. So now we're talking solar. But what can I blend? Just in more rural areas, I know, but can I blend in air windmills with your solar power?
I mean, with the proper engineering permits and have somebody that can design the systems to do so, there's really no limit to renewable energy.
Now, do you guys do any wind energy?
We do have contacts that can help with that. It's not our primary thing, but we absolutely, if somebody wants to do wind energy, we'll call the right people and make it happen.
So it's one-stop shop, folks. That's what I was trying, Mm-hmm. So you call energy experts, give John a call, and they could get you lined up. So with that, of course, that's not happening in the city area, but definitely our rural. We got a lot of people listening in the country, and actually, it makes a lot of sense for my barns and confinements, and livestock raising. Having the solar energy, because it costs a lot of money to also have us run that power out there to them. If you're for the power company, I should say.
Sure.
So, all right. So how long, well, we got just a little bit of time. Hopefully you can answer this question, but how long does the panels last? I mean, do they lifetime or 5 years? Or?
So as you can imagine, anything that's left out in the sun over time will degrade. The National Renewable Energies Lab has tested the panels that are out now and have tested for the past 20 to 30 years. And the panels that are being installed now, they're putting a 50-year lifespan on them, saying that they'll degrade at 0.5% a year in our climate. That's different throughout the country and throughout the world, depending on the climate, depending on where you are close to to the equator. But you're looking at 50 years of actually getting enough solar radiation to take care of your home.
I like that, only 0.5%. So that just shows folks right there just how much the industry has advanced over, since the beginning of this type of energy. Now, you guys strictly are in the electrical solar energy business. Is that correct? Or do you do any passive heating panels or anything like that?
Actually, my boss, the CEO for a long time, he did a lot of solar heating for water, and we do have that available. Our primary is solar electricity, but yes.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure people, if they was interested in that, hey, pick his ear about that too. He'll love it. Hey, we are wrapping up this segment. Boy, time just flies, and I just really enjoying talking to John here. Give us a call if you have any questions about this. You can touch base with us on our webpage or also our Facebook page of Galloway Building Services. So if you want to have a couple of inputs, touch base, we're right here for you. Thank you. See you on the other side.
Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Welcome, folks, to About the House. This is your humble host, Troy Galloway, owner of Galloway Building Services. We are a certified construction consulting and inspection company. Been doing this for over 42 years, and we'd love to have an opportunity to help you if you ever have any questions, whether you're buying or selling a home, or if you got a construction project going, or you just know something's not right. You got to have a second opinion. Make sure that's what we're here for. Give us a call. Hey, we got John Neff here of Energy Experts. Get that pen and paper out because I know that they got a lot of questions. Well, John, we was just visiting a little bit about how long the panels last, but how long does the warranties last? I mean, talk about the warranties, if there's different, how they work and such.
Sure. So there's a few different styles of warranties. Of course, there's a workmanship warranty based on the quality of electricians and that you have working on that, which of course we only employ the best. Those are going to be with their contracts usually a couple years. Some of the equipment is going to have a 10-year manufacturer warranty, and then the solar radiation, what we say it's going to come in is going to be up to 25 years of warranty. If something were to break, if a component, an inverter, or anything breaks on this system at 9 years and 8 months, you get a new one. That new component has another 10-year warranty. It doesn't expire 2 months later.
That's a good point. So, we hear so many crazy stories out there, such as that literally that there is no radiation if it's a little overcast, a little gray day. I'm not talking if it's a rain day, but so tell us about how that works, because I know that you're still getting some electricity.
You are. It is decreased. It's a percentage based on actually how gray the day is out there. If you ask any eye doctor, you should wear your sunglasses when it's cloudy, because you do get solar radiation.
That's a good point about the sunglasses, because I know that, and you get sunburnt out there too.
Yeah.
So you're still getting that. That's great. How long has Energy Experts been in business out here?
So Energy Experts, the company is 4 years old. The members of the company have actually been in it for quite some time. Mark Simmons, who is my boss, and he hired me in to be the Midwest consultant. He's been doing it for about 15 years. He's modeled and built, I believe he said, about 10,000 solar projects internationally, including Cape Town, South Africa, and other countries around. Now, he hasn't built that many, Because a lot of time we'll model so many, but we may only build 10 or 20% of what we model for people.
So now model, you guys do like also not just only homes, but you also do commercial and industrial. Is that right?
Oh yeah, we do. We can do anything if it requires power. So, but we really do a lot of commercial, industrial, a lot of schools, churches, hospitals, any big industry like that. We can do well.
Yeah, that's good to know, because a lot of us are, we're working with, on our church board or something like that, and trying to help offset some of the cost. Yeah, so that's a great point. Well, we're kind of going to talk a little bit about, if we could, we talk about warranties a little bit. But this, what about the financing options that are available out there? Talk to us about how we can do this.
So there's a lot of different financing options, and it really depends on what fits for you. We recommend, and what we've seen is the best economical way to do it is to go to your local credit union, or if you have a long-standing relationship with a bank, you can get better rates, you can get good rates, and you're going to get a return on what you're producing on most houses between 7 to 10 years. We say 8 years payoff, and with these credit unions, you can actually pay these things off in 8 years rather than, there are 20 and 25-year programs out there, but I don't want to pay for something for 25 years besides the house.
Right. Yeah, I don't even want that. What about the tax rebate things or the tax breaks or something? Do they get like one check? How does that work for the rebates or tax incentives?
So the rebates, yes, the rebates are a cash check from the utility, but and that is also, depending on in the commercial setting, that is also taxable income. The rebate is your federal tax incentives are 30% of the total cost of the project. And that means that's on owed taxes. So you turn that into your tax guy, and that covers, for most of us, all of our withholding for that year. So you will get a significant return. And if you don't use all of it, you can carry it over to the next year. And one thing, that actually has a time limit as well. So 2019, it's 30%. Next year, it goes down to 26%. And they'll let us know what it'll be in 2021.
Well, I'm sure they'll work on that and just keep it up, because, solar energy, it's definitely, it's really expanding light years quickly, That's because, well, it's a great opportunity.
Yes.
It's a great opportunity to give back to the world. And I'm not one of the environmentalists out there, but heck, I live here too.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that my children have a clean place. So that's no coal being burnt or anything. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, folks, I am going to wrap this segment up, and we thank you. We will see you on the other side.
Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Welcome back, folks, to About the House. I appreciate you joining us again. This is Troy Galloway, your humble host, owner of Galloway Building Services. We are a construction consulting and inspection company. And we are with John Neff here of Energy Experts. And experts are not just energy, but solar energy, as we talked about all the different rebates and stuff. But I wanted to kind of go into some of the other issues, if we could, John. And that is, what if my roof needs replaced? What do we do? Do we have to rip the whole thing out, or what's the system here? I know you said we're getting some partial protection, which is awesome. What happens?
Well, the simple answer is, we have to take it off. But since solar is becoming so prevalent in some states, it's required that the insurance actually cover the removal and reinstallation. Not every insurance does. So that's something that you want to talk with your carrier and find out if that's part of your homeowners or if you need to buy an additional rider. And we come out, we send the same people that installed it to come out, take it off. The roofers put the new roof on, and then we put the solar back on.
So if you're thinking about this, it sounds to me like that as long as this lasts, you might, if you need a new roof, get your new roof, then put your solar down, and then you don't even have to fool with it for years and years and years and years, you know.
Exactly.
But what if, so your insurance company covering your panels, if indeed they have to be removed and replaced or put back, but how does the insurance work if they get destroyed in a storm? I know they're pretty stout, but, I mean, God's pretty stout too.
That's true. And I was talking to Mark the other day, and he was saying of the thousands that he's installed, he had one break in a storm in the last 2 years. And the insurance companies, it would be identified there on your coverage on how it's replaced, if it's a piece by piece or the entire array. If it destroys the entire array, it's destroyed the house.
Well, yeah, and folks, I want you to make a note of this. Contact Mike Caples of Farmers Insurance. He's done they specialize in making sure that you get this kind of insurance, because we talked to him. He actually did a show with us. Catch him on our podcast. That's Mike Caples of Farmers Insurance. Great company, great guy, and they specialize in this, so he'll make sure you get the absolute right policy for it, and which is important, because you want to make sure you're not blindsided. And they also insure the equipment also. So I guess that, if it can. Now, talking about equipment, let's go over here. Some of that stuff, like the metal racking. Some people complain about this? That's the, as the folks, that's the part that the panels are setting up on. Is there something better, or can we make them prettier?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, I like to talk about this. I had a good friend who I tried to get her to do solar. She won't do it because she doesn't like how they look. And I said, they don't look metal and obnoxious anymore. We actually have matte black racking, so it blends with most of the rooftops. You don't even notice that it's there. Clearly, you see the panels. We automatically install the matte black racking on every home unless someone specifically wants the industrial metal look, which we've not yet had that request.
Well, that's interesting. I've never really thought about it, but I could see why folks would. They want it all pretty and blend in together, and so when you guys do this, do you also recommend? I know we was talking to Eco Power, also did a podcast with us, radio show with us. Great company, folks. You get a chance. They don't only help these folks with their solar energy, but they also help with all kinds of electrical issues. But do you recommend to change in your lifestyle a little bit, maybe going with LED lights, or help make this system work better? Do you help them with that? Well,
absolutely. We'll sit down. We can do an entire renewable energy or utility reduction plan if we want to do that. Solar, of course, LED lighting is going to decrease that utility consumption by about 15% typically. And we have other energy efficiency tools that are going to help to harmonize the electrical flow within the home as well, which will decrease and make the solar more efficient.
I love that harmonizing part, because I think that this is win-win for both utility companies, electrical companies, and for us, the consumer.
Yes.
To get the biggest bang for our buck. Talking about bang for our buck, so we get our tax credit this year. And it's not making our electric bill actually go away, but it does, wipe it out pretty good, or can wipe it out. But how long does it take average to pay back, a system like this? You said you briefly touched base with it earlier when you were talking about financing.
Most of our homes are between 7 and 10 years. 8 is what I really, if you go with, like I said, like a credit union or something of that nature. There are others that your actual payback is much longer, but that's because of the financing that was chosen. It's not the production that's providing that payback. The production is going to provide payback within 7 to 10 years. And in the commercial setting, I've got one that we're working on now. It's almost 1,700 solar panels, and they'll be paid back in 2.5 years.
Wow, that is awesome. Well, folks, you just got to give John a holler. He's going to give you all this information in the next segment. We're wrapping this one up, but make sure that you can always get a hold of, if you have questions, you can contact us through our Facebook page, our web page. We're going to put John's information out there so you can reach him. But, hey, this is just, there's more here that we're ever going to touch base on today. That's why you need to call them specifically and visit with them. Well, folks, we're going to wrap this segment up, and we will catch you on the other side.
Troy Galloway is a construction manager and consultant, commercial and residential builder, and a certified inspector for all commercial and residential buildings. And now, here is About the House with Troy Galloway.
Well, welcome back, folks, to About the House. This is Troy Galloway, your humble host, and we have John Neff here of Energy Experts USA. And John, let the folks know how they can find you and what's the best way of reaching out to you so they could get more information.
Okay. Well, I do absolutely accept call or text directly to my phone. My cell phone is 636-262-6688. So call or text to that number is 636-262-6688. You can look up our website, which is energyexpertsco.com. And that website will redirect you to one that says Combined Energy Tech, and that's expected. That's what it's supposed to. It kind of describes what we do.
Oh, okay. Good.
And anybody can call anywhere in the country. Heck, if you want, you can be out of the country and call me. We do have regions where we work. I have a rep that I talk to in D.C. We have reps in California, Colorado, and I'm the Midwest rep. So really anywhere within 6 hours of St. Louis, I will travel in a day.
Well, you can send the right people to the right place, and that's right. What counts. Because actually, this show's promoted in Kansas City, Memphis, Chicago, Nashville. So we try to blast the whole Midwest. Well, because we work through the whole Midwest. So
right.
And it's great that you work in Illinois too, because we have a large following in Illinois, folks. That's what you need to reach him out for and talk to John, because he's going to help direct you to the best opportunities for where you live. And you're not going to get that from your accountant. You're not going to get that from anybody but the experts themselves. So I thank you, John, for helping us out here. Give us that phone number again one more time.
It's my cell phone. It's 636-262-6688. Call or text anytime. If I don't answer, I'll call you back just as soon as I can.
I know you do. You're really good about that. And people say that all the time about how good you are about getting holler back. And, folks, we're talking a little bit about, the importance of insurance on this. And we mentioned Mike Caples, Farmers Insurance. Hey, I want to give you his phone number because they specialize in all of this, and they know everybody out here. So they're a great company. That's Mike Caples of Farmers Insurance. And their phone number is 314-566-1788. That's 314-566-1788. And while we're doing that, I want to give a shout out to J&H Properties, because they've been so good to us over the years and helping us promote the radio show. And we give them a call. They take care of all your real estate needs. They just literally will hold your hand, walk you through the emotional stages, give you the best advice, guide you for title companies and real estate and mortgage companies, everything. You can check them out. We got podcasts of them. We got podcasts also of the owner of J&H Property speaking with the vice president of Central Bank, talking about mortgages and stuff. Check out the podcast, both of them. They're tons of great information. Well, folks, this is Troy Galloway, your humble host. I want to thank you so much for listening to our show. I thank you, folks, all of you, so much. This show's just growing and growing and growing, and people are really excited about learning all this information. And so I encourage you to go check out our podcast. And I send you off with this. God bless you. I cannot even, John and I both, we're very grateful that you take your time to listen to us. We will see you another time. Thank you.